Everything you need to maximize your crypto journey is here at PDAX Prime. With PDAX Prime, you'll have direct access to the crypto market, allowing you to trade over 50 tokens, including exclusive OTC coins, faster and at competitive rates. PDAX Prime also has a dedicated team of experts who are passionate about crypto and other solutions to help you make the most out of your crypto journey. Plus, as a PDAX Prime client, you'll have early access to our wide array of crypto learning sessions so you can stay ahead of the curve. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join PDAX Prime today. Bringing the future of finance closer to every Filipino. This is PDAX. Welcome to Philippine Digital Asset Exchange, where you can trade your crypto for as low as 200 pesos on the web exchange or through our mobile app for more convenience. Register and create your PDAX account with us today.
Hello. Can you hear me, Jed? Hello, good afternoon. I can't seem to hear you, bro. You're muted, man.
Hello,
All
yan.
right.
Nakamute pa pala.
Yeah.
I can hear you
Hello,
loud and clear.
Jed. Fantastic. Okay, welcome everyone to another edition of course, the Philippines' #1 crypto show. Welcome to Fresh Money. A very exciting week we've had past couple of days, Jed. I think the crypto market is like holding its breath with all the movements happening and all, of course, yung
Would this
ating mga
be the
trends for your
finally
favorite
breakout,
crypto.
no?
Kaya sana. So, mamaya pag-uusapan natin yan, no?
Yes,
But
sir.
before anything else, let us introduce ourselves first. I'm sorry, Jed, I don't have the power to control our slides. So, I'm Ed Martinez.
And I'm Jed Ignacio.
Welcome to Fresh Money. All right. And first and foremost, syempre, pag-uusapan muna natin. Oh, ikaw muna pala ang pag-uusapan.
So, as always,
Okay.
guys, we would love to hear your thoughts and comments and questions. So, for those people who'll be asking the most thought provoking and insightful question, will win 300 pesos worth of crypto. So, ask questions, comment your thoughts, and share this Facebook Live.
Alright, syempre, yung sabi nga namin ni Jed, no, thought-provoking dapat. It should challenge us at the very least. Para syempre, pag maraming challenge, syempre maraming learnings. And mamaya, Jed, meron din tayong special guest who will grace our Q&A portion, di ba?
Yes.
Balita ko to, idol ko talaga to eh.
Idol ko rin eh. Sobrang idol ko to.
pare.
Galing eh.
Mahusay talaga.
Nakaka-inspire.
Oo nga, ito yung mga tipong gumagawa ng sarili niyang bot, pare. So again, this guy is talaga super credible, guys. I mean, he's like OG crypto. So mamaya, we're very excited to introduce our very special guest. But before anything else, syempre, let's first talk about the state of the market. Jed, how's Bitcoin last week?
So Bitcoin over the past week, we're seeing, as of today, we're actually seeing another attempt at the range breakout. So in the past few weeks and days, we've been playing this really tight range of 28 to 31,000. And around sometime last Monday, we saw Bitcoin try to attempt, but ultimately got rejected because I believe the overall market got shocked by the news of the European Union cutting down 90% of its Russian oil imports, which signals higher inflation in the coming months. So this, as you all know, higher inflation will lead to more incentive for the Federal Reserve to increase interest rates and tighten monetary conditions, which again is not very favorable to risk assets such as stocks and equities, stocks and crypto.
Yes.
And as monetary conditions tighten, I believe the Fed has always made it a priority that they would control inflation at all costs at the sacrifice of investors. So I believe they would keep raising interest rates and keep tightening condition to the point that until something breaks or inflation slows down. So for those people who want to look at the safe entry, I think it's best to monitor the US inflation and the economy because this will dictate the Fed's policy stance. If the economy starts to slow down, the Fed will start to lessen the increase of interest rates and the selling of monetary instruments in the global markets.
So yan, again, very important yung binabanggit ni Jed, yung pagtaas ng interest rates really it's detrimental to risk assets, gaya ng sabi niya. Bakit? Because syempre when interest rates are going up, syempre, of course, the mandate of central banks is to really control the amount of inflation because that's their primary mandate. No? Ayaw nilang nasasaktan yung mga consumers when it comes to higher prices. So sometimes at the expense of growth, they tend to increase the rates. And syempre, if those conditions are not met, it's not easy to borrow money to expand, it's not easy to borrow money to spend, then people tend to have a risk off attitude, meaning they cut off at least their risk assets. So and that's very much even more so in Philippine equities kasi nga we are the risky shoe. Gaya ng sabi nila, kung ikaw ay foreign investor, your equities in the US are relatively your safe assets, but equities in developing markets even more so. So kinakat talaga yan. And of course, crypto, we know about the reputation of crypto to global investors. Now, madako naman tayo, Jed, if you can just move the slide to Ethereum. Ito medyo mas hindi ko yun pala. So as you can see there, the market is trying to form that consolidation pattern right over there. I'd still watch the support levels from that very, very parang tight range. Again, as the range gets tighter, the higher possibility you may have of it breaking out or breaking down. So if you're considering entry during these levels, be very careful. According to our MACD indicator, it's likely that the market will still continue to move sideways. So there's still time for you to contemplate. Pero gaya nga ng sabi ni Jed, you have to be very active in trying to monitor your crypto. Kasi, of course, if it breaks down, syempre balik naman tayo sa downtrend. So what do you want to see? You want to see a MACD above 1 or at least, and then with the MACD above the other line. So that means it's bullish. That means that there's an uptrend. But then again, if you're trying to catch this, baka good to, watch out. But syempre, ang sinasabi namin ni Jed, yung mga ganyang catching the bottoms are hard. It's really hard, no? You can't really understand. Kaya ngayon, the news about Europe trying to increase also the rates is something that, has been in our radar screens quite recently. So hindi mo pa rin alam what's going to happen in the future. And nobody does, guys. If we know what the future's going to be, then sana wala na kami dyan. Nag-trade na lang kami ng future. And we're not here anymore working hard for you guys. So make sure that you are be careful. And if you can, I would suggest I do this myself, not financial advice, but I buy slowly. Make up my position.
Right.
Bakit? Because if you don't do it now, Jed, then you will be left parang afraid of the market always. And syempre, pag
Agree.
nag-recover niyan, mahal masyado. Mahal masyado. Hanggang sa ayun, next high na. Mahal pa rin
Naiwanan
masyado.
ka na.
Iiwan ka na. So make sure that you buy slowly, but you have to remove your emotions out of the whole thing and try to do cost averaging. No, every month, pag nasweldo ka, then take a part of it and buy in crypto. Diba? Kahit small amounts lang. Basta to make you ready for that next rally. Diba? Para may pang naman tayo, Jen. May pang Lamborghini. Joke lang. Malay mo, diba? If all the positive news is correct, then, diba? Sana, diba? All right,
We'll
so that's
see.
it. Diba? In the world of the two major cryptocurrencies. And now, Jed, we're moving on to our next part, no? Yun. What's the word of the day, Jed?
So the word of the day is FUD, which is an acronym for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So this is basically negative information being spread around social media or other information sites in the hopes that it will spark fears from a particular group of investors or even to an entire industry.
Mm-hmm. Tama. So, minsan yung FUD, no, yung parang Elmer FUD, very timely. No? But to me, yung fear, uncertainty, and that, of course, is ano din yan eh. It's a two-sided coin. Yung iba kasi parang, if you are, yung tinatawag mga crypto bros, Jed, no? Pag FUD, di ba,
Yeah.
parang, don't mind the negative news. FUD lang yan. Stay in, right? So, again, it has the best intentions. But syempre, yung fear, uncertainty, and doubt is something that you also have to take a look at, no? It's not there for no reason. And in crypto, syempre, since mas misinformation, mas mabilis yung move of prices, you have to keep your eyes open. Sometimes yung fear, uncertainty, and doubt is not just fear, not just uncertainty, and not just doubt. Sometimes it's caused by a real purpose.
Yes.
But syempre, of course, ito rin, Jed, nakikita ko rin ito when they use it, yung mga nag-hodl, di ba? When you hodl, you hold the thing, nag-misspelling lang somewhere there, but when they hold, FUD na naman, di ba? But in reality, if you believe in what the technology can do, then whatever happens is just fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Agree on that. Yeah. Sometimes people treat it as like misinformation, but it's actually legit criticism on a particular crypto.
That's right. Oh my God, that's straight to the heart, Jed. Ouch!
Tumaan din ako dyan.
Okay lang, but gaya ng sabi ko before in the past episodes, it's good that we are having these. Of course, that the loss is not by any means easy, but it's good that we're having these things today. Now we're getting tested. Now we're getting the use case that really work and use case that don't work. So, I mean, it's a learning lesson for us. It's good that we fail sometimes, but it's important that we learn the lesson. So if you
learn and keep moving forward, sir.
That's right. Yes, sir. LFG. Okay.
All right, on to our next segment. It's a few news. And our first news is the Central African Republic to tokenize natural resources. So Central African Republic is the second country that adopted Bitcoin as legal tender after El Salvador. So I think this is a very interesting use of blockchain technology by making their natural resources or the minerals wherein they have abundance of, such as gold, oil, iron, diamonds, copper, and many other more, to be accessible to the public market and to make it investable. So the president believes that the tokenization of these particular geological treasures would create investment opportunities for the country. So I think this is a very interesting development. And from previous reports, this country aims to be the crypto hub of Africa by providing incentives wherein I believe there will be no tax for any companies that will be based there and operating in cryptocurrencies. So I think it's really interesting that they're really leveraging the technology of crypto for their economy.
That's fantastic, Jed. Alam mo yan,
Mhm.
inaantay-antay ko yan eh. Talaga mga precious metals and industrial metals to be tokenized. Kasi that
Mhm.
opens the possibility for firms to actually hedge their risk.
True.
Kunyari may copper ka, the tokenized copper, and you're trying to hedge the risk of copper. It's part of your supply chain, or nag-order ka ng copper somewhere, no? And you want to like insulate your entire operation from the volatility of copper prices, and you can invest in tokens of copper na kunyari
Mhm.
tumaas yung presyo, then you have something that you can more or less compensate you for the loss when you do that in your operation. So again, this goes far in between. Your oil then is something that people can hedge against, especially mga uptrends in price. Of course, it takes a little bit of study. It's kumbaga in hedging, it's still quite a crude product, but of course, in the future, we expect all sorts of financial magic to be able to allow people to be able to control their risk. But again, yun nga yung sa akin, I'm quite happy, no? Nung na-encounter ko when, yun nga, I tell this to everyone when I do talks, yung first gold investment ko is actually tokenized gold dead. So I was really floored because coming from the private bank wealth management sector, no,
Yeah,
gold
yeah.
is so hard to come by. Meaning you have
Yeah,
to go through
actually.
this, diba? Hirap, bro. And then, pag may gold ka na, you have to pay for yung parang vault that has a camera. Then,
My
so
holding
it's so
costs
all,
pa, no?
yeah, correct. It's
Or you
so
have to go through derivatives or
correct.
ETFs
ETFs or
available.
yung mga certificates of gold na wala namang
Mm.
gold, diba? It's really very synthetic. So for me, this is very exciting because now we have industrial metals that people can use
Mm-hmm.
to actually, invest in crypto. So very excited about that. Uh,
Yes.
After this, I'm gonna Google the Central African Republic for sure to get a hold
Yeah,
of
I
these
think they have
investments.
this project called Project Sango Project. That's like their
Okay,
crypto
nice.
plan for the country. I think it's worth
Okay,
looking at. It's very interesting.
nice. Yes,
All right, on to
fantastic.
our next news. Kenya Energy Company entices Bitcoin miners with geothermal energy. So Kenya is one of the top producers of geothermal energy, and they're willing to give out their excess energy towards Bitcoin miners as an incentive to come to them. So I think this really helps both Kenya, wherein none of their geothermal energy would go to waste, and the Bitcoin industry as well, because it would help decentralize the miner network geographically and create a more sustainable and address the problem of renewable energy being as a source of energy for these miners. So it makes this really interesting and very mutually beneficial partnership between these two particular country and industry.
Yeah, very exciting, but ako siguro ang comment ko dyan, Jed, is ano yung safety concern in Kenya? Yung not as safe as usual. But again, they're
Mhm.
mining from Mongolia as well, and Tajikistan when it was banned in China. No? So again, this is something that I'm quite surprised we're not thinking about. Like yung mga tokenization ng mga minerals, no? I think the Philippines, since we live in the crack of the planet, but the continental, where the continents meet,
Yeah,
where naturally we have a lot of natural resources. But hindi kaya tayo mag-tokenize dito sa Pilipinas. And also geothermal. I mean, we're one of the countries that is most diversified in yung energy source natin. And I think 20% of it is coming from geothermal. Yeah, I'm not kind of surprised we're not getting into these things
I
now
guess we
for
don't have
crypto.
the technological capacity or talent yet to develop those
Kaya nga,
tokenization and making geothermal energy accessible. Or
tama
probably
yan.
regulation also. It's not as easy to enter the market. You have to go
Right.
through a lot of these checks and
Oo.
bureaucratic processes. So
Yan
I
yung
think
mga
that's
bagay
why,
dyan
yeah.
na medyo mas ideal yung top-down approach. No? If it's
Mhm.
like a national objective, then everything becomes easy. Pero kung manggagaling sa ating mga players in the industry, parang medyo mahirap to convince upward. And of course, if you have
Agree.
children, no? Ako, I my daughter keeps asking what's in my shirt. Sabi ko, that's Ethereum. That's the first smart contract enabled cryptocurrency. So
Interested.
she knows Bitcoin. She's 5 years old. She knows Ethereum.
Nice.
She knows Solana. I think also Matic. So we have to, have get our children in these things na. So hindi lang sila gusto maging lawyers and doctors. They also want to become, blockchain developers, which we
Mm-hmm.
are sorely in need of for mga developers. Kasi I think for us in the Philippines, no, that's one of the main things that we can really focus our population to learn, which is yung technology, that
Right.
doesn't really respect borders. Basta may internet ka, then people can actually participate in the economy. So very important to also open their minds to all these other things that we can do that are much more exciting, and of course, mas, kumbaga, it's future, proof, or at least
Mm-hmm.
looking forward. No? So yeah,
Yeah,
interesting,
it's really
very
good to
interesting.
hear that you're teaching your daughters already this early.
Yeah, man.
Start
They've
them
started
early, no?
invested in the index at age 0. They've started
Oh,
investing in
wow.
the stock index age 0. So now I'm diversifying their monthly investment to also include Bitcoin. Yeah, di ba?
Very thoughtful of you, ah.
Of course, di ba? And I've known also some people who their parents did this to them. And when they graduate from college, their discussion was really what house to buy, or what investment to consider. So really
Mm-hmm.
very strange for out of, after college, because during my time there was no really talk about finances or where to put your money. So it's very
Yeah,
special for kids to be exposed to this as early as, when they're 5, or when they can read.
agree. I think back then the focus was mostly on saving rather than investing.
Correct. Now we have all these assets, Jed. Mayroon pa
Mm-hmm.
tayong mga projects and PDAX that are equally exciting. No, I'm sure
Yes.
I basta I can't say much, but there's really a lot of things you can do with PDAX in the future.
In time, in time.
In time, bro.
Yes, sir. All right. On to our next news. Solana
Sure.
halted again by the bug linked to certain cold storage transactions. So the network encountered a bug in Solana, which made the network stop for around 4 hours. So this is a primary concern with Solana, no? Because every so often it seems like Solana shuts down or slows down and makes it, inaccessible for users. So I think there's a concern for many people, as this may affect the perception on Solana, that is it reliable enough to take over Ethereum. But given these concerns, it may not be as likely. But then again, the silver lining behind this is that it it's good to have these problems this early, as it irons out its processes and all its network inefficiencies. I think these are just trying times for Solana, the same way how Ethereum experienced it before. I believe
Mhm,
Ethereum before also had similar problems and issues, and it led to where it is, what it is right now. So this is part of the
mhm.
trial process of Solana.
I think kasama ko pa yung special guest in a client call nung nag-halt si Solana. So again, very special sa akin yung special guest natin, kasi pinag-uusapan pa namin to, Jed. Oh, nag-halt na naman yung Solana, di ba? So again, you're right there, Jed. No, it's really painting a bad picture to the
Mhm.
network. It's supposed to be fast and reliable. Like there's main difference. We have low gas fees, and then we're more efficient. Pero,
Yeah, faster
so
transactions, but yun lang. So,
again, di ba? Ako, yung aking life lesson dyan is because I worked for a stockbroker before, no? No matter how much we try to forecast future users, it's really impossible. No, meron talagang sabit. Kahit i-multiply mo na by 10x, 100x yung expectation mo, sometimes the market really tells you or shows you something you haven't seen before. And when that happens, then you suffer. So I hope that, again, good to suffer, but kung ulit, baka it's also a testament to their reliability. But I hope they learn from these things, no? Kasi not being able to transact can mean the difference between losing it all, or having
mhm.
the ability to save at least a portion of it, diba? And in 4 hours, it's a dami ng transactions, and I'm sure it's a huge amount of money that was lost or nag-halt because of that particular issue. So I hope they really figured this out, kasi I've heard so many, may mga pro Solana people din, di ba? Although, iba rin ang tingin ng mga ETH, ETH
Yeah,
people. But,
that's when the
you know,
tribalism comes out.
correct.
With the
But, it's
cryptocurrency.
it's a welcome challenge. They can
Mhm.
always challenge Ethereum. I'm sure it's the key to a healthy industry that people are keep pushing the limits. I just hope that they take it more seriously, I guess, or at least learn from this. Yeah,
Yeah, I believe they will. And I personally think that it's going to be a multi-chain future, despite what some
yeah,
maxis think.
yeah. Ako naman, I'm not particularly a maxi or of any token, but so I
Same.
love all the developments. If it makes sense for me, then I'd probably use that chain.
Agree on that.
Yeah, yeah.
And and in another news, BNB Chain releases a year-long technical roadmap to develop ecosystems. So some bullish news on BNB as they announced to enhance the network's decentralized solution, infrastructural capacity for side chains, and potential for developer-built decentralized applications or dApps to improve performance and efficiency. So BNB will also include application sidechains such as MetaApes and Metaverse World. So it seems like they're dabbling deeper into the metaverse as they think this could really be the future and increasing their decentralized validators to 41. So it seems like the approach of BNB here was to start out a bit more centralized to gain enough users to bootstrap their network and eventually slowly decentralize and give it back to the control of the community. I think this is an interesting development as it makes BNB more attractive for developers despite the preconceived notions of it.
Mm-mm. I think your preconceived notion, I had a good taste of that over the weekend. I read something that I think the founder of Ethereum wrote, diba? Si Vitalik Buterin, saying that all
Mm,
the coins in BNB are not very good. And they used a different adjective to describe. So it's much, much worse than, not legit. But, I have very high hopes for these guys, because they have exchange support. We understand it's the largest in the world, although, of course, I don't agree with their unregulated approach to things. I think you're bound to stumble upon some issues when you do it outside of
mm,
regulation. So again, high hopes for these guys. And I think in terms of user base, hindi na sila maghahanap. They have the most users. They have the most high technology
right.
teams there. Practically anything you can do in crypto is already with them. And the world is just trying to follow.
That's right. That's right. And on to our last news. Yuga Labs, the founder of Board Ape Yacht Club, confirms the Discord server hack wherein 200 Ethereum worth of NFTs were stolen. So what happened was, one of the community managers had this Discord account hacked, and the attacker used his account to post phishing links in both the official Discord server of the Board Ape Yacht Club and the related metaverse project called The Other Side. So this tricked a lot of users in thinking that it was safe since it was from a prominent community member, which baited a lot of people from and leading to a lot of NFTs to get stolen. So I think the takeaway here is to be extra careful on what links you click at. Doesn't matter if it's from a reputable member from the community because you'll never know if someone got hacked, no? So I think it's really important to take your security seriously in order to prevent from your assets be stolen.
That's right. I think kaya nga din there's a trend in crypto, na kahit minsan, of course, we do send emails to our customers. I do sometimes message our customers when they need something from Prime, no? And sometimes may
Mhm.
question pa rin na, is this legit? It's coming from an email, no? So, dahil sa mga ganitong incidents na galing na from a very reputable source and then fish pa rin. I mean, it's still a phishing attempt or it's still an attempt to scam them. So, very important, of course, it doesn't really to me, I don't know what to do na, Jed. I mean, ngayon, I have to validate first with the person himself. Twitter or,
Mhm.
kumbaga may two-factor authentication ka rin. Pag in-email ka ng deal and you think, standard na, iti-tweet mo siya ulit, is this legit? Or something, text mo ulit some other means, no? It's hard to really, but, I just wish that we had better security on these things. And again, perfect na perfect yung ating special guest niyan kasi
Maybe you
he
can
is
give
a,
some tips on
yeah,
security.
tips on itong expert natin in Discord. I think again, this guy is fantastic with Discord. He, he knows this. So, tanongin natin siya mamaya.
All right. So let's introduce him now, actually.
Ayan,
Si
pare, of
Pat
course.
Lau.
Diba? Our, no, is no other than our head of the metaverse, Mr. Patrick Lau.
How are
Pat,
you
kamusta,
guys?
sir?
Hey, Jede
How are you,
Ed.
boss?
I'm
Good,
very good.
good.
I'm very good. Grabe yung build-up mo Sobra akong naano doon
Pare, lahat yung totoo. Wala yung parang fluff, pare. And matanong ka na rin namin, pare, since that's the last news, no? Kung Discord nahahack, wala ba mga security tips regarding this? Ako, si Pat din nagbigay sa akin ng first Discord tip ko eh. So, pare, sa Yuga Labs. Ano ba tip natin sa Yuga Labs, Pat?
Oh my God. To be honest, I wasn't part of Pero grabe, ang taas na expectations niyo sa akin. Na-pressure tuloy ako.
Ay,
I'm not
naman.
part of the Yuga Labs Discord. So,
Oh.
but ang alam ko lang is like the typical security measures that I take. So like, number one, when you drop into the Discord group, very important thing lang is you go to the settings and then disable. There's a setting there that allows fellow members who share the same Discord server as you to DM you. So you have to deactivate that capability of other people to do it to you because dyan pumapasok yung mga scams. So like, there are very sophisticated bots that when you drop into a certain Discord server, boom, may message ka kaagad, and these bots are parang, they pretend to be the server owners and ask for certain things, diba? That's number
Oo.
one. Number two is just like going into the habit of um not replying and even blocking literally any person who DMs you in Discord. So like, ako ngayon parang second habit na yan. Like, every time I see someone who DMs me, boom, report spam, block. Alis, get out of here. Ganun lang.
Galing, ano?
Ganun lang. So, it has to
Mm.
be you who initiates the conversation. But then again, actually, if you do that, you have to be sure that you verify that person's authenticity, right? That
Mm.
they represented an official representative of that Discord server. So yeah, so
Oo.
very basic hygiene lang. Just to recap, when you enter Discord server, disable the DMs. And then number two, when you make it a habit that when you see any unsolicited DMs that arrive in your inbox, just automatically block them.
Mm. Ako yung first experience ko dyan sa pagkaka-scam sa akin, Pat, no, di ba? I was led to a site that really looked like the project, no? Talagang legit, may padlock yung site, tapos it looks the part, and you can connect your wallet. So it's like, oh, wow, this is really something very sophisticated. So talaga mag-ingat tayo lahat dyan. But again, Pat, thank you very much for that. After that learning from you, I was able to avoid most of the scams na. So ito pare, I think yung may mag-highlight lang tayo ng mga ibang users natin. Naku, hindi ko pala kayang i-highlight dyan. Pero si Joshua Magalindan, sabi niya, naku, I was expecting Sir Pat to join. So Joshua, nandito na siya. So if you have any questions, make sure that you message us, no?
Oh my God.
So first 20 minutes na-upset na si Josh. Asan si Pat, di ba?
Nahanap ka na, Pat.
Nahanap ka na, Pat. So, yun na
Tama
tayo.
ba?
Oh,
This is
sir.
this is gonna be your last episode?
No,
am I
sir.
hearing correct?
I'm just going to parang scale back my participation kasi of course we're doing a lot of projects in PDAX, but I'll still join you guys once a month for an outlook in the crypto market. So,
Ayun.
diba, para meron tayong konting outlook on, diba, what's happening in crypto on a more macro basis as we talk about some of the tokens, some mga trends na nakikita natin. So, again, I love this stuff, Pat. You know, I love talking to our customers. I love engaging with partner Jed na sa gilid ko, no? So, even if busy na, I should find the time to really, participate. So, yun. Medyo
Yeah, we're
mag-scale
gonna
back lang
miss
tayo.
you.
Busy na eh.
Yeah,
Miss,
we're gonna
miss
miss
you,
you.
Ed. Kala ko
Pero I'm
Despedida
sure.
episode na eh.
Hindi na. Scale back lang.
Kill back lang pala.
But yun,
Okay.
pare. But ang mag-replace naman, of course, is no other than Mr. Pat. So, syempre, di ba? Ibang dimension din yan of exciting inputs. So,
Thank
yun.
you.
Into the
I'll try my
metaverse.
best to fill in your
Pare, it's just a scale
pare.
down as to
Ako
beer, don't worry. Pag busy ka, ako din eh. Ako pa rin. Kailangan
What's the
lang pare
ano?
ng konting kahalili
What-
natin, di ba? Kung busy ka ako, pag ako busy, di ikaw. Parang ganun lang pare, let's treat it softly. I mean, we love our community, we love our joiners here, so di ba? As long as we are appreciated by our viewers, nandito tayo lagi. Freshman.
Awesome.
Diba?
Jed, you're gonna be the anchor, the anchor host.
The
Congrats.
steady anchor.
Yeah,
pare.
steady
Yes.
anchor.
So yun,
Pressure
let's
sa
start.
akin.
Yeah,
Big
pare.
shoes to
But
fill.
that's right. So
That's
let's start.
exciting.
Again, guys, if you have any questions to any of us, of course, our special guest for the Q&A, Mr. Pat Lau, make sure that you do ask. Kasi, very special din talagang guest natin na yan. So, eto, and let's start answering questions, Jed. Mayroon na bang makikitang mga dyan? Yun.
Si Bodhi Ventoso, anong maganda bilhin sa PDAX ngayon? ADA or Matic? Tagal ko na nababasa about sa dalawa na to pero undecided pa din. So gentlemen, thoughts on these two tokens?
Ako pare, ito ako short lang eh. Bitcoin ETH na lang, madam. At least you are talking about the two of the largest projects, no? Not buy it at biglaan, trying to catch the bottom, but instead you buy it slowly through cost averaging.
I
How about
agree
you, Pat?
100%. Bodhi, just be careful when you iba kasi pag yung nababasa-basa tsaka yung na-research ng mabuti. So, ADA and Matic, okay naman sila, but personally, ADA, if you look through their tech, it's a little bit medyo butas in my interpretation. Matic naman, it's a layer 2 sidechain. And what sidechain means is that it doesn't inherit the security capabilities of Ethereum, which is yun yung gusto natin about Ethereum kasi it's the most secure chain. So si Matic naman, napakabilis ng transaction, napakakonti, napakamura. But ang alam naman natin lagi sa buhay may trade-off. So ang kapalit nun is hindi ka masyado secure. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo nakukuha yung security ng Ethereum na immutable siya. Pag natuloy yung transaction, sure ka na yun na yung katotohanan at hindi na ma-rewind kumbaga yung transaction mo. Now going to Ed's point, I truly believe also, and I would agree with him, kung ikaw yung type of investor na wala ka masyadong oras to research a lot, just go for the majors, just go to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Personally, mas solid ako for me Ethereum because may near-term catalyst which is the merge. So alam mo naman Ed,
yes sir.
Na-mention ko na sa inyo. Nice one! Nice
I like
shirt.
that shirt, Ed.
I need to buy myself that one. I love yung Technicolor one sa
Yeah.
Yung
I'm gonna go there
version,
soon. But the merge is the biggest event from proof of work magiging proof of stake. And yung ang pinaka-common misconception ng mga tao is pagdating sa proof of stake, ang merge, mas mura ang gas fees. Pero hindi yun totoo. Pero ano ang maganda sa proof of stake? Kumbaga, ang supply side, nawala yung selling pressure sa supply. Ang ibig sabihin nun, di ba ngayon pag proof of work, ang nakukuhang reward ng mga miner sa Ethereum mining is Ethereum. Pero syempre, since ang expense nila, syempre, totoong business yan. So, they have to pay in pesos or in dollars.
Yeah.
First silang bumenta ng Ethereum. So, yung kinikita nila, benta. Pero pag nilipat mo yung rewards na yun to the stakers, to people who hold Ethereum, they can stake it and they are now the validators. Parang bagong miners na sila. Pumapasok yung reward sa kanila, hindi nila kailangan ibenta yon. Kasi probably those who stake are the true believers. So, ang nangyari is hindi magkakaroon ng mas malakas na demand, kundi mas konti ang selling pressure. Kaya, napalaking event to. I'm very confident that it's a positive event for Ethereum. So, again, if you would like to just wala kang time mag-research lalo na bear market, stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Madagdag lang sa nabanggit ni Pat, again, yung yung merge na yan is not just a simple one-day event, no? Di ba marami silang programs which
May
includes
phases yun eh.
a lot, madami phases pa. And then meron pa siya yung what I'm really very excited about, yung sharding na tinatawag niya pa, wherein they open a lot of highways for you to be able to use Ethereum, rely on its security for all types of your transactions. And ako, ang pinaka gusto ko din sa merge na yan, Pat, yung use of electricity, di ba? Of course, if you're proof of work, you're trying to solve a very complex cryptographic puzzle. It uses a lot of electricity using but now with proof of stake, hopefully mais ng konti yung electricity equivalent to that of Pakistan. So, yeah, medyo it's encouraging, especially for people who are concerned about, the carbon footprint of all of these cryptocurrencies.
Sakto.
So, yeah.
Tama yun, Ed.
Given your guys' stance on proof of stake now, would you suggest Bitcoin to move to proof of stake as well?
Nako.
Good question yan, pare, no?
Mabigat yung question yan. But I don't really I don't think that it's gonna happen kasi the Bitcoin community is fossilized na eh. Kumbaga
solid na sila dyan, bro.
Solid na ganun na eh. Kasi yun naman talaga yung culture ng Bitcoin, di ba? They do only one thing very, very well, which is to figure out who owns what and make sure na nakakap. So yung value prop niya sa mga tao is, eto na yon, finished product na to. So pag nagsama ka pa ng proof of stake, lalong malilito lang yung community, mag-iiba na yung value prop niya. Ang Ethereum kasi, kumbaga parang semi-fossilized pa siya. Tapos yung spirit, yung culture kasi ng Ethereum parang startup eh, parang tech. So parang laging digitalic, laging naglalabas sa mga paper, research, paano mo ipapa-improve yung protocol. Mas risky, pero then mas marami ng upside kasi what if they do something that is far better than Bitcoin, di ba? So yeah, ganda ng Ed, what do you think about Jed's question?
Pare, I think tama ka dun eh. I mean, the Bitcoin is already known for that. I mean, investors also of all shapes and sizes really treat Bitcoin as a store of value, and I don't think they'll gain so much. I guess if they really get sensitive about all these concerns about the electricity they spend. But to me, Bitcoin is there for a reason. It's the first, massively adopted cryptocurrency. And I think because of its features, people rely on it, on its ability to really track who owns what. And for the longest time, it's going to be, for the foreseeable future, it's going to be seen as a store of value. So okay lang naman sa akin yung Pakistan, bro. To me, yung electricity consumption. The benefits we get from all of these is really immense, no? So, I don't mind spending that amount of electricity. Of course, we can cut down on that. By yung news natin kanina when anong country, Kenya, is trying to put miners with geothermal electricity. I'm all for that. But for you to curtail naman something as fantastic as cryptocurrency, parang hindi naman tama yun, di ba? It's something that we really can benefit a lot from. And
Agreed.
Yeah. Ayun. So
next
body,
question.
yan BTC ETH tayo. Kung yung Adelmatic, of course, takes a bit of more research. Yeah.
Right. So for next question, Chris Torres, my economic great reset is crypto the solution.
Nako.
Pare, TED ka na pala ngayon. Hindi ka pala TED ka na pala.
Typo lang yan, sir.
Mr. Ted.
Mr. Ted.
Of course. Kaya ako medyo parang hindi ko na itong great economic reset. Ba ito? Meteor ba ito? Life reset pala. Can you tell us a bit more about the great economic reset? Parang hindi ko naman nabasa itong great economic reset. But syempre, in cases of recession, hindi yata yun. So Chris, if you can explain to us what the great economic reset is with the PDAX. And just do a quick Google, Great Economic Reset.
Baka nabasa sa libro.
The Great Reset. Ayan, yung yata yung nangyayari.
By World Economic Forum.
Yes, ito sabi nila, there's an urgent need for stakeholders to cooperate simultaneously managing the direct consequence of the COVID crisis. I think in that case, then crypto is really one of the solutions that came out, no? And, in many, many other discussions or podcasts, you'll see that crypto is often seen as the backstop to our economic right to access currency. So, diba, yung nakita natin in some examples, the government is trying to block bank accounts. They're trying to, do a lot of things to people that don't agree with them politically, and crypto is always going to be there to be our a way to transact. Like for instance, in yung sa Russia Ukraine war, no, 'di ba? Nagkaroon sila ng parang banning from SWIFT, of course, yung major Russian banks. Of course, while we don't agree with it, not every Russian naman should be held accountable. So they should always have this facility to transact or live their daily lives, and crypto has provided that particular solution. And so I think it's a tool because it's something we can rely on during times of difficulty, especially that money is not yet, iba-ibang pera, iba-ibang bansa. So because of this facility, we have a backstop for, our ability to transact with each other. So I think that's fast becoming a right na rather than a privilege to most people.
Yeah, same thoughts on that, Ed. No, so crypto basically provides an alternative for everyone in case things go really bad in the global economy. People can use cryptocurrencies as an alternative financial ecosystem in order to continue their day-to-day lives and their freedom to transact.
Amen.
Para may nagko-comment sa atin na para tayong boys night out, para bibili na ako ng bell. So pag sabi tayong medyo classic, ting 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 ting, so pare. Balita
Sino
ko,
si
napapagod ako kakating kay Patrick, pare. Kasi ting 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 laging epic.
Boys night out tayo pero for one day lang kasi aalis ka na eh.
Pare, hindi naman pare. Hindi naman, sorry naman pare. I'm always ready to catch pare, and I try to join.
Scale back lang daw pa.
Scale back lang pare. Pare.
Hindi naman.
Pare pag busy ka, ako rin eh. Busy tayong dalawa, di ba? O pag busy ka, isang text mo lang naman sa akin, happy to do this again, pare. Siyempre.
Sino si
Text yung mga fans mo nag-aantay, bro. Yung mga fans ka nag-aantay eh. So baka ma-upset. Ay, si Ed, naku, nasan si Pat, pare.
Dapat si Pat eh.
Huwag naman. Feel ko dummy account lang yan. Si Joy or Jelic lang yan eh.
Ako lang.
Saan si Sir Pat?
Sir Pat, di ba? Si Josh.
Alala, nahuli tayo ni Jelic.
Ayun, so let's answer knock out a few more questions, guys. Very exciting itong natin, chat natin. Yan.
The next question, naghang ng content.
Yun, magandang question dito. Ayun, nako. Implement
ang haba.
Crypto in the Philippines. Does it mean that for every transaction made with the trading platform, we'll have an additional tax with gas fees too? And will it be a lot of fees included in that plan? Ako si Joshua na naman to.
Ako, ang bigat,
Sige.
Joshua.
Mabigat ang tanong ni Joshua. Ako, I think it's still a long ways to go before we can actually. First of all, we need a law to be able to tax something. So, kailangan nagkaroon ng Cryptocurrency Taxation Act or siguro ma-include siya in one of the laws. No? So, again, not really positive on taxes because it's the government's ability to destroy certain industries. It's their ability to really, discourage activity. So, I wouldn't want to tax crypto at this stage. No? Siguro later on, if we have, clarified all the use cases, kasi it has a tendency to really set up a bar for certain projects. So pag mataas ang tax, syempre, we don't wanna, it limits also, the development, the power to kill an industry is with the government. So I think it's still a long ways to go. First, you have a law, then second, of course, that para registering kayo ng mga TIN numbers ninyo. Diba? Kailangan pa ng konting integration with the taxman for that to happen. And of course, with government, it usually takes a while. Just to give you an idea, yung REIT na ine-enjoy natin ngayon, ito nga, wala pang taxation issue pa. It's just
really?
Enabling REIT was there already as early as the early 2000s. So, hindi lang yan parang bagong, ngayon lang ba yung REIT na yan? Tagal yan. So, hoping that if there is ever intention to tax crypto, like what you see in the news, kasi I think nabasa sa broadsheets yan. One of the things that they're thinking to tax is crypto. So that's gonna take a while, and there's time to prepare, pare. I think there's time for us to prepare.
Joshua, in other words, kumita ka na ngayon while it's still early.
Tsaka
bear market, sir eh.
I think, pare, of course, Totoo yan. But you can always rely on players like PDAX to really fight for our investors. Kasi yun naman objective
Yes.
natin, no? You can't really levy so much taxes on crypto. But syempre, like stock market, may tax din naman yan, yung maliit na transaction taxes. But hindi mo nararamdaman because the industry has, lobbied for that. Kasi kung itax mo yun ng ganyan kaaga, walang pupunta dyan.
Wala na.
And you
Wala
don't
na
wanna,
pupunta.
correct, you don't want to curtail the development of one of the most important assets in an economy, which is in capital markets. Ito, lalo na to, the backstop to your rights. Are you gonna, you're not,
Exactly.
unless you really wanna kill it. And impossible,
Exactly.
di pupunta lang tayo sa ibang exchange.
Yeah. Lilipat ka lang.
Tayo sa US, lipat ka lang. So walang
Pero
tax, di ba?
siguro ang
Oo.
hirap sa crypto kasi you cannot, like, if capital gains, there's no way to measure what you've profited from, right? So siguro, Josh, if ever in the far future, if ever mangyari to, I could see that it's happening parang VAT or parang nasa top line lang, a small, maybe a very very small percent off of your, parang let's say magka-cash out ka, parang ganon. They will do a
Yeah,
tax
I
on
think
that.
dapat ganun lang.
Na sobrang dali lang ma-monitor. Kasi there's no way pwede mo ilipat-lipat yung pera mo in different wallets and there's no way to figure out your cost basis. But then going back kay Ed, no, we shouldn't, PDAX will lobby and will fight for your rights as investors. We do believe that crypto is the future. So sobrang aga pa natin sa movement na to na if we put a tax, it will really be hurtful to everyone involved. And
Agree.
actually yung REIT na yan, when I first joined my investment bank, yung first job ko as an investment banker back in 2006, yun yung pinag-uusapan, REIT. Tapos
Di ba?
naging investment banking na ako, nag-construction na ako, nag-food na ako, nag-fashion na ako. Lahat, tapos bumalik ako sa financial services sa PDAX. Ngayon pa lang na-implement ko. Diba? So, medyo
Yeah.
magigets mo ano yung expectation natin sa timeline. Diba? So, but yeah, very good question, Josh. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, just to add to that, no, I think I read an update on that. Si Ben Diok, no, yung Department of Finance Secretary is not in favor of taxing crypto.
Yeah.
So good for us.
Mr.
Good
Ben,
for us.
joke no.
He gets it.
The former central banker. Yan, pare, di ba?
Pag-guess
sir.
naman sa Fresh Money.
Pwede ba yun?
Pwede.
Sama ako sa gilid lang. Papalakpak lang ako sa gilid. Yes, sir.
Pag nandito siya, dapat nandito ka rin, Ted.
Ted.
Oo, pare. Asama si Ted dahil nandito. Jed and Ted.
Jed.
Nice, Ted.
Next question.
Yan. Next question.
Should crypto
Yun ako,
investors
pare.
be worried by Solana's latest outage?
Sakto, nagsistepen si Pat.
Nako.
So may Solana yan, pare. Ako,
Ganito
I'm
lang,
always worried about outage kahit saan, pare. Kahit kuryente, I'm worried about the outage.
Exactly. Pero you should view Solana as a very experimental tech. Parang alpha stage pa nga siya kung isipin nyo eh. So,
Right.
yung the whole consensus algorithm niya, yung proof of history, which personally hindi ako expert pero like parang if anyone has done coding before, and what's really just certain about coding is there will always be bugs. Diba? Never mo ma-anticipate yung na-solve mo lahat, na forecast mo lahat ng possible problems. So, and think of Solana as like a huge, diba, programming project, and lagi talaga may lalabas na hindi mo ina-expect. So I think yung latest outage had something to do with the nonce transaction. So parang in a typical sense in the EVM, nonce is used, parang it's just a serial number, parang transaction number. Kumbaga sa wallet mo, 1, 2, 3 kung pang ilang transaction mo na. And I think parang Solana treats nonces in a different manner. Parang meron siyang parang workaround para mapabilis yung transaction, di na kailangan tingnan yung nonce. Something like that, no? So again, I'm not an expert. But like they did some sort of workaround, tapos they encountered parang some double transaction na napaulit, which led to non-consensus, meaning like parang less than 60% nag-agree ng node. So nag-fail sila, 'di ba? So actually, pag inisip nyo rin, if you go back through history, may mga ganong ding outage si Ethereum way back early in its beginnings, di ba? So, It's just that as an investor, you just need to price it in, 'di ba? You need to price in and discount the fact na if you wanna buy Solana, you have to understand na may risks. And also may risk na talaga that Solana could not make it, can't make it, 'di ba? Whereas in Ethereum, mas adopted na yung technology, mas matagal na, meaning marami na silang nalabas na bugs na ayos na nila. Ibang risk profile yon. Does that mean that Ethereum is a better investment than Solana? Not necessarily, di ba? You need to weight it based on the price. Kasi kung masyadong mahal naman si ETH, si Solana naman sobrang mura, it could be that, di ba, risk-return wise ratio, better ang ratio niyon sa Solana, di ba? So, ano siya, it's not as simple as, outage tapos wag na lang bumili, di ba? So again, there are no shortcuts in life. You have to do your homework.
Right. Yan, pare. Ganda yan. May bell na naman ako. Ting, 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 ting. There's no shortcuts in life, pare.
Ang kulit mo, ha?
Pwede mo ng libro ngayon, pata. Then the quotes ng Fresh Money, lahat na, there's no shortcuts in life. Pero to yan, guys, ha. These are codes made by human beings. So let's not forget, we are all prone to error. So I'm quite happy that they're getting all of these things this stage, no? And sabi nga ni Pat, sa Ethereum, nangyari din naman yan, but they were able to fix it, no? So, mas maganda ngayon because we can identify yung mga ganyang errors and work around them. So, I'd rather look at it on a more constructive basis. Say, parang, slow down, wag na tayo dyan, no? Of course, you have to give them a chance. These guys are trying to challenge the main guy, no? Para tong si bro. Para tong si yung tumatakbong presidente. Joke lang. The main guy is Ethereum. But we have to, have this good environment of competition in crypto. That's where we get the best for consumers like us. Diba?
Competition beats innovation.
Yan! Ting, 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 ting. Pare, dapat kinawa ng bell.
Next time.
Versus innovation. Next time ako mag-guest, magdadala ako ng bell, bro. Para our viewers can, sulat yung ating mga nuggets. Tawag natin nuggets time, pare. Sige.
Saka ba? Paano office or ano?
We just finished the shoot of our ad for PDAX Prime, and I'm in the place where we shot like a few scenes. So I'm here currently.
Kumusta?
Okay naman, pare. Fantastic. Ang pogi ng model natin.
Ikaw ba?
Pero okay naman. Hindi ako. Hindi ako, bro. Wow, solid buhat yun, bro. Hindi, nag-hire talaga tayo ng model. But, watch out. It's very exciting. Because, of course, it's always a problem for us to explain what Prime is. Usually takes around 20 minutes to explain all the features, but this video will, 30 seconds lang, bro. 60 seconds lang. Alam mo na, you get a feel of what we're all about.
Oh, I'm excited.
Very excited.
Wala bang female model, bro?
Wala, bro. Kasi, meron naman. Meron naman dun sa parang scene. So, watch out. Kasi ako din,
yung extras ba?
Sa female guest natin, sa female extra. Sabi ko, maganda rin pala yung female extra natin. Pero, syempre, hanggang hi, hello na lang tayo, diba? Yan talaga.
I love it. In-invite ako sa shoot na yan eh. Ito ba yung lunch time? Something sa restaurant?
Yeah, bro, kasi
dapat
mga extra. Kaso, malayo si Jed. So, si Pat naman, syempre, busy. So, ako, the background guy was asked to really sit down there and laugh with our actors. Okay naman, that's nice time, but hopefully it comes out, it's not going to be hard anymore to explain what we're all about. And that's the hope.
I love it.
Okay.
When's the release date?
Next week, meron tayong offline. Yes. So, siguro
offline.
A couple of weeks more, 2-3 weeks, meron tayong output niyan. Hopefully it's good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sige, let's answer a few more questions. No? I think we still have time to pick the brains of our guest for today.
Here, ito trading related
Ted ka na pala, pare.
Ted ka na talaga, Ed.
Talaga ako, bro. Talagang hindi nakikita yung pangalan ko doon, ano? Binansagan na ako ng mga taong bilang Ted. Sige, yung Chodoro ng pangalan ko dito sa palabas na to. I'm Ted. Kaya kung sakaling magkaroon ng future trade si PDAX someday, sa tingin nyo ba, sa tingin niyo po ba kabilang na po ba ito or katulad pa rin ng sugal? Nako, alam ko po kasi future pwedeng mawala ng pera pag nagkamali ka. Hindi tulad ng spot trade, right? Nako, again, ang tingin ko dito pag may futures trading na, it's another level of risk na medyo kakaiba na, no? I think, to my opinion, crypto is risky enough. It has already a lot of factors that you have to consider. And there's really a lot of options that you can take. And it trades 24/7. So do you really need extra levels of risk? I think if cryptocurrency is part of your transaction, you want to hedge against something, then futures are the perfect solution for you. But if you're just trying to participate, I don't think you need futures to get to this. Like, it's just opening another can of worms there, no? So, yun. Tingin ko, we won't, of course, in PDAX naman, we stand by our responsibility to our customers to, have at least make them interact with the cryptocurrency market in a sustainable way. So if we think that it's too risky for customers to play around with, then we will probably reconsider it. But of course, if it's some good use, no? Aside from just taking risks, sabi mo nga sugal. Ayaw naman natin magsugal yung mga tao. Mahirap na yan. Meron tayong institutions for that. Meron na si Gcash na sugal. Ano kayo dun sa manok, di ba?
I agree, 100%.
Di ba mag-aaral ka pa ng kung ano-anong crypto, yun, pula sa puti lang. I'm not encouraging that investment advice or life advice. Magsugal, sana yan.
Pero nakapag-futures na ba kayo, Jed and Ted?
I haven't.
Ted na ako, bro. Ako noon, I was able to participate, pero hindi naman direct, but for customers of Citibank noon. Di ba? Meron na kaming futures market noon.
Okay. Ikaw, Pat, futures ka.
I've tried futures. Jomar, I do not recommend. Like, ilang beses na ako na liquidate dyan. Not a good, like, diba? Siguro may statistics or like, pag-isipin mo talaga, 'di ba? Trading, it's a zero-sum game eh. So, and I think, siguro sa lahat pag ginawa mo yung statistics, siguro 5% or 10% lang yung kumikita at the expense of the other people. And ano yung chances na, 'di ba, na ikaw yung one of those. Isipin mo laging yung kakompetensya mo is all of these like traders who study the market, who do this 24/7. Diba? What chances do you have? Diba? So, yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Diba? And they have all of these sophisticated models. I don't know. Opinion ko is I'm in line with Jed and Ed. Diba? Sugal.
Medyo
spot na lang, boys. Spot na lang.
Spot na lang. Madami tayong excitement sa spot. Meron pa tayong
spot and chill
sa spot in the future.
Spot and chill.
Diba yung spot kasi hindi naman yung futures agad. Pwede ka pang mag-margin in the middle. Eh. So siguro pag may purpose to give margin, baka we promote margin. Pero kung futures, masyado sugal na yan. Diba?
Yeah.
Yun. All right. So, yung sasabi ni Pat, 5% success rate. You have to be better than 95% of everybody, including all the algo traders, all the professionals, all the guys who do this for a living. So, I don't think it's a good idea. Okay. Yun, pare. Let's go to the last question. Yun na ba? All right. Sige, all right. Thank you very much, Pat, for gracing the show this afternoon, pare. Again, ang dami. Sayang wala akong bell. Kung meron ako bro, napagod na naman ako kababel because of all our, nuggets.
Of course. My pleasure. Next week, I think we'll be interviewing a good friend of mine, Sevi Loves Art. Jed, sama ka na lang para masaya.
Sige, pwede.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Like, we'll talk about yung mommy ni Sevi and their success story, diba? Like, sobrang daming NFT, like sobrang daming traditional artists sa Pinas and looking to enter into NFTs and how to be successful. And it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3, diba? So, malalaman natin ano yung ginawa ni Sevi, ni April, Sevi's mom, kung paano siya naging successful. So, yeah, stay tuned. Jed, we'll interview April.
For sure, exciting.
I'm so excited. But ako, sasali pa rin ako siguro if kaya ko, pero through the questions na lang.
Sama ka! No, sama ka!
Paddle. Sige na.
You're always welcome.
Yeah, but you're always welcome, Ed. You're always welcome to join.
When I'm free, pare, I'll join you guys. Siyempre, di ba? Okay. Thank you very much, Pat. Again,
All right.
Thank you for
I'll go
gracing
ahead.
the show.
Thank you,
Yes.
Pat.
All right. So we just go through some work before we end this show. Sige,
Thank
Pat.
you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. So now we are in the last part of our show. A few marketing lang. So, teka lang. Sa akin ba to?
Oh, I can take it.
So,
Sige. So
Go,
this
go,
is
go,
our
go.
double your token promo. For a limited time, we can double the tokens you cash in when you buy any of the 4 new tokens, namely Solana, XLM, Sushi, and BNB. So to know more about the full mechanics, just check our Facebook page and our community groups.
And of course, Fresh Money. This is the Philippines #1 crypto show. Ito, very excited tayo kasi tinatawag niyo akong Ted. Pero okay lang. Mahal ko naman kayo lahat. But we're also available in Spotify. So if you missed an episode, you want to share this with your family and friends. Gusto nyo magkaroon ng deep knowledge and of course fun in crypto, then we're in Spotify.
We are also in TikTok. So if you guys want to see snippets of the Fresh Money episode or stay up to date with what's happening in PDAX, just scan this QR code to see our TikTok page.
Ayun. And then, of course, you can join us through our many communities, of course, in Discord, Facebook group, and Telegram. So whatever trip mo, we're there. And sometimes, kami nila Pat is also there. So if you ask any questions, make sure you tag us or yung kanina, meron si at Lunasyan si Pat. So baka nandun siya and he might be there to answer your question. And ako, mag-isipag na rin ako dito, Jed. I'll go through all these communities so I can interact with our customers. So again, scan this QR code so you can get the link to our communities. Uy, and of course, syempre, Jed, ang ating pamilya, sabi natin ad kanina is of course PDAX Prime. Be at the forefront of the crypto revolution. For those of you guys na, I mean, you have 2 sets of clients Jed, yung mga crypto natives natin, di ba? So if you wanna find a way to onshore your funds from your crypto wealth outside of the Philippines, and PDAX Prime is the right choice for you. Of course, aside from that, we give you direct access to the crypto market. We can set you up with a chat with our traders so you can, make fast transactions. We also offer guidance sa mga newcomers dyan. So if you have any use cases you want to talk about, we're there to help you out. And finally, there's also access to crypto learning events. Late this month, meron tayong Crypto Winter Survival Guide. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. And yun, that's PDAX Prime, guys. Nako, Ted, gusto mo ba dyan? And of course, if you want to explore the world of digital assets, it's one of our flagship events here in PDAX, where you want to learn about 3 major use cases in ating crypto cost averaging, we also have crypto yield, and last but not least, in metaverse natin. Of course, galing kay Pat naman lahat yan. But anyway, so yan can be learned from the exploring the world of digital assets. Meron tayong run, I think, on June 16, and that's the AMA edition. So if you want to join that, we'll ask you to watch a set of videos so when you go to the AMA, we can answer your questions about the video. So again, another way of learning things. So we're in PDAX, we're always trying to experiment on what can serve you guys better, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Naku, yung winners natin. May mga winners ba tayo ngayon, Jed? Naku,
Yes,
baka makalimutan natin.
magagandang question, to be honest.
Oo nga eh, sige.
For our first winner, si Bodhi.
Naku,
for asking this question. So if you're not familiar with the mechanics, just take a screenshot of this webinar and send it to our Facebook page in order to avail of your 300 pesos worth of crypto.
Okay, so yun. Make sure that you interact with the guys with a check mark, no?
Mm-hmm.
Wag yung mga PDAX na may quit sa A. Masama yan. Alright, next winner natin, si Joshua Mangalindan. Siyempre, yung fan ni Pat, no? Nagtanong about taxation. Again, Joshua, I think it's the first time I'm seeing you here. If you're not familiar, make sure that you screenshot, this message and get in touch with our official Facebook page to claim your prize. Yo.
And for one of our regulars for asking this question, si Christian Caburian. Should crypto investors be worried by Solana's latest outage? So I'm sure you're very familiar with the mechanics. Screenshot this webinar and send it to our Facebook page, the one with the check mark.
Oo, yan. Dapat bigyan naman ng challenge si Christian, no? Bilisan natin para di niya ma-screenshot. De, joke lang, Christian. Preference kami sa Facebook niyan. So, congratulations, Christian. Thank you for being with us. No? Share mo naman sa friends mo para mas marami tayo dito sa Fresh Money. Yun.
All right.
Yun na ba yun? Yun na yun, ano? All right. All
That's
right.
it.
Thank you very much again, partner Jed, for another exciting and, of course, thought-provoking episode of Fresh Money. So, yun. Hopefully, of course, once a month, I'll still be here. I'll still be rendering my opinions on the market. Siyempre, I can't naman stop doing this. It's something I really love, no? So, next week, siyempre si Pat kasi Jed muna ang mag-take over.
Mag-break muna si Ed. Busy siya ngayon.
Yun nga, medyo busy. But again, isang tawag lang and he's going to be there. And that's it. That's all the time we have for this afternoon. Again, thank you very much for joining us in the Philippines #1 cryptocurrency show. And I'm Ed Martinez.
I'm Jed Ignacio.
Thank you for watching
Fresh Money.
Hindi mo tayo mag-tuwid dyan. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.